this microphone in a place that actually works. How's that sound? A little louder, probably. Maybe, perhaps. Hopefully that sounds okay. Bring the music down just a little. How's that sound? Good? Music not too loud? Voice not too quiet? Oh, good. Perfect. Well, I changed it a bunch, so I hope it's still super good. Okay, so we are here about to do some work, and this is not the right thing. Oh, this is not the right thing at all. Huh. Well, I've opened the wrong project. How did that not work? That's weird. It's like a bunch of missing data there. Okay, hold on. Let me grab a thing really quick instead. Okay, I don't know why this music is super quiet now. Turn that up just a little bit. Okay, so I don't know why, for some reason, it pulled up the wrong version. Oh wait, this might be it. Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. This is the right version. I'm just silly. Okay, yeah, that should take a second, but then it should work. Let's put this over here. Also, don't mind the random epic music. That's just because of it's what we're using. Silly Goose, yes, indeed. Okay, so I need to close this project out. Okay, well, I'd rather close the project then. I don't want read-only mode. I would like to be able to actually do stuff. Discord changes. I didn't make any changes. Why in the world would that be? Oh, okay. Okay, I know what I've done. A little bit of hiccuping before we actually get to start, but that's okay. Don't want to do that. Okay, well, while we wait for that, because that's just gonna take a moment. I'll show you what we've been talking about in the Discord. Story. This is related to story stuff, obviously. And we're talking about the idea of killing a god, which is relevant for the story. I guess I should write down spoilers in the stream description. That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Seems like it makes sense, but you know, seems like. Let's go here. Oh, that sure is me. Oh goodness, I got a lump on my head. Holy cow. It's pretty rough. Why did this not update? Okay, well that's not letting me change that right now, so I'm not gonna stress about it, I suppose. Okay, that should be good. So we're talking about the idea of killing a god and what that means and what that does, and this is relevant because the primary antagonists are more or less trying to replace a bunch of gods. And the protagonist will be stopping them eventually. So the question is, what god or gods are going to be the primary targets of this? Which, if any, will actually be taken out. And the objective today is to, well, get this up and running, which it had to update, which is the only reason I am not already writing code. But we're going to pull up my to-do list and pick something from it. We might start something simple. We might start with going a little more into like the dialogue system, which is going to be a complex system. Stuff like that. I'm not sure which we'll do, but if I could please pull this up. It's making a weird sound. Okay. Okay, so here's our to-do list. We need to actually edit this. This we were going to have another. What is going on? Was going to have another programmer work on this part. Why is this loading so slow? Holy cow! Come on, Google Chrome, you can do it. I believe in you, buddy. Yeah, that was weird. I was gonna have a different programmer work on this, but they're probably not gonna be able to. So I'm gonna assign myself to work on this part instead. So right now the things on the to-do list are adding a control input system. The reason that is even a thing to have to write code for is because we want it to be able to work with keyboard and mouse or controller, though I anticipate controller being the preferred control method. Some people will not have access to that, so adding keyboard, mouse functionality. So setting up a system that will allow both of those things, that like no matter what control scheme is being used, for the rest of the game code to see that as the same thing, so I don't have to write all the game code twice. And then building the dialogue system, which is its whole. Like, that's gonna be a whole thing. Like that's gonna be multiple days of work for sure. And then this one's gonna be pretty short. It's just adding functionality for sound effects to play when combat actions are performed. That should not be very hard. I can go ahead and show you really quick what we already have as soon as this finishes installing itself. As you can see, we're just about there. So while we wait for that, how about we go get ourselves a beautiful oh, that's awesome. Well, what happened to Audacity? Where is Audacity? Where did I put Audacity? It should be here, no? Huh. What happened to Audacity? Okay, well, apparently everything's breaking today. So, I was just gonna say I can go ahead and record an audio bites to use for the test, but everything is Murphy's Lawing itself today. This is my coffee this morning. Oh, camera's over here. It's like a sparkling water with antioxidants, so that's pretty cool. It is very sweaty. The can itself is like condensing a bunch. So I need to grab a paper towel while this installs. Okay, you get to watch this install while I grab a paper towel. Oh, look, that was quick. Okay. Let us quickly create a sound that a zombie who is being hit by an attack would make. What do you think? Can we do that? I'm confident that we can make a perfectly good sounding sound for that. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, thank you. I know how this works. You ready? It's going to be great. Brace yourself. This is going to be the most amazing thing ever. Can you not hear me this whole time? I'm worried now that you couldn't hear me that whole time, but I'm not sure if that's the case. If so, that's dumb. Pretty sure you can hear now, though. Okay, so let's give this a shot, shall we? Alright, let's see. That ain't bad. That ain't half bad. Let's, how about we trim it, though? Which one of these is the trimmer, actually? Let's do this. So we can bring that all the way in, can't we? This can maybe trail out a little more. There we go. That'll do. Alright, let's export that. We would like this as an MP3. Oh, wow. Zombie belongs. Let's place it directly. What's that? Oh. Let's go ahead and put this in the test assets folder. Oh, you can? Good. Okay, we don't need that anymore. Okay, this now open. Should actually work. Do we have everything? Ah, yes. Okay, everything's here now. So, this is what we have now. I'll just show you. It'll take a second to launch, but I'll show you what the game is now. Right now, it's pretty much just a blank combat system. But the combat system works pretty well. Don't mind the fact that we are currently... let me open this. Yeah, we're currently in the out front of Minas Tirith, but it's okay. So, we have 0 sound effects right now. Right now, here's Aaron. He's beautiful. What a beautiful, beautiful boy. You can't click anything, but you can scroll through stuff with your keys. So, Aaron has some actions. He can bite or he can shoot. He has no spells. He has no special actions. But he does have stuff in his inventory, which also does stuff. Right now, there's a bit of a combat log down here. It is not obviously in the game. This is the output of the program we're making the game in. There we go. So you can see what's going on here. So if I wanted to use an attack, I'll say I want to bite. It's I can shoot for more damage, but it's less accurate. So if we want to bite, we can pick who we're targeting. You can see down here, it knows that we're trying to bite something. We'll say we want to bite this one. There we go. Does 13 damage. Now all the zombies are attacking me, and now it's Roy's turn. You'll note that the animation for the bite was in fact a claw, but that's just something I threw together to test it out. So you can see down here, all the zombies bit Aaron. Aaron got affected with poison, so now Aaron is poisoned. And so, if I wanted to, I can... Oh, this is Roy. Sorry, Roy has nothing in his inventory. Roy will shoot now. If he shoots and it hits, it's going to do a lot of damage. It might miss, though, so let's see what happens. Okay, it missed. Now it's back to Aaron's turn. Aaron has Healing Potion, which does exactly what you think it does, and a Cleansing Herb. Cleansing Herb removes status effects. So if you look down at the this log, the pause thing just means that I'm leaving the game and looking at this Game Maker window. So anyways, the Cleansing Herb, you should see that it'll say effects removed, poison. Nope, instead the game crashed. Okay, well that's good. We learned something. Let's see, so unable to convert string self to integer. Huh. Let me see if I can recreate that bug. Let's do this. Okay, so attack that zombie. Okay, Aaron is poisoned. Great. Before I replicate this bug, let me show you what happens when you actually kill a zombie. I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to hit it, but yeah. See, it has, you can have it set to a death animation or death sprite. In this case, the death sprite was turned 90 degrees, but could be a different sprite. Okay. Anyway, so Aaron is poisoned. We sure would like to resolve that. So if okay, unable to convert string self. A string is just text. So this data it can't turn to an integer, which is, of course is an integer number. Okay. Well, I guess we should resolve this problem too. So the issue is that the combat manager is basically a piece of code that runs the combat loop. And there's an issue on line 153. Could be an object or so. Oh. Well, look at that. I have a to-do thing right here, which is handle cases in which the target ID is not an ID of an actual combatant. So normally the way this works is you have the action, and then the action has a target ID, and that target ID is going to be one of the zombies, or, well, in this example, one of the zombies, Aaron or Roy. One of the people that are in, or like one of the things fighting in combat. But the problem here is if we go to, I guess it would be here. Actually, it would be here. So Aaron has this herb. Okay. Here's the herb. It does herb stuff, right? Here's the code for how it works. What you'll notice, though, is herb can target self. So when you actually go and use the item, which is actually going to happen here at this title menu. Oh no. Okay. This isn't where you do it. Maybe that's not where this happens. Never mind. That's just for navigating the menu. I haven't messed with this in a minute, to be honest. This is what I was just looking at. It is... So it would have been the combat manager then, I think. Oh, here we go, yeah. So this, when you select an item, you select an action. Yeah, right here. So you will, yeah, here we go. So this sets the target to self. This actually, I think, is just an example. Not all of them would do this. But, this is the default. Yeah, so what this is going to do is when you are in the inventory hovering something in the inventory menu, so when you're looking at your items and you hit enter, it's going to pick whatever you're hovering and send that to the combat manager as the selected action, and then the combat manager takes that action, does whatever it does. Right. Right here, it's also sending the target as self, which is, I think this line of code is actually temporary. I'm actually not sure. That might need to come out. That might just be for a test. Actually, great. So then it's going to send, combat manager targets. Yeah, so it's going to send the chosen target that way. So this also doesn't make sense, does it? Yeah. So if the chosen target is self, really what this needs to be is a selected action. Can't target is what it should say. It should probably say that way. It would, for example, if this was your action, was the herb, it would return the herb can target. It would return this. So self. If you pick the herb, but if you picked I don't know, a splash potion, so you could throw it on someone else, you could do that. It would say any or ally. Okay, so now we need to go back to combat manager. So right here is where it's supposed to handle cases that are not just the direct ID of something. So I'm pretty sure right now we have an active combatant. Oh yeah, active. Look, we have an active combatant. So what is this? This is okay. Yeah. So this is easy. So all we have to do is say if action dot target ID. So the target ID of the action, if that is equal to self, we want to set the action. We want to set the action target ID to the active combatant. So whoever's turn it is. So what this says is, by the way, you'll notice here this is equals equals. That means I'm checking if something's equal. Just one equal sign means I'm setting something to something else. So what this says here, it says if the action we're looking at right now that we're trying to process, if its target ID says self, which should happen in a certain number of cases, for example, using the herb, then we want to say actually what self means is the person whose turn it is right now. So we're going to change it. So instead of it equaling self, it's going to equal whoever's turn it is. Okay, that might just work. Now let's see if the herb works. Okay. Alright, someone poisoned me. Okay, he got poisoned. Good. This is Roy. Okay, now Aaron. Let's do it. Okay, we crashed. Okay, variable unknown, not this target ID not set before the edge. Result. Okay. So, what happened there? Okay, where is this? Object combatant. Well, I'm a little confused here actually. So this is 2 actions routine. Create an object to roll. So I'm confused. Because it was crashing because this was a string, and now it's crashing because it's not a string. And that's not useful. So just object, combat, and create results, do text.use. So, yeah, target ID details. Why in the world is this not working, actually? So the problem is that the combatant object it's saying that the ID we gave it isn't real. Which the ID that we gave it would have been Aaron. So I don't understand how that's the case. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. It's saying that it's... Yeah, no, I don't understand. Like, this is mad that... Here, let's... Oh, goodness. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay. I know what happened. I'm dumb. I can't read error messages. Okay, so here's what happened. This music is a little loud. Well, it's not that bad. Okay, so here's what happened. We didn't break it by doing this. We just ran into the next problem, which is that when we go here, we're trying to take the active combatant and do their action, whatever that action is, and we give it the action. Okay? What that does is this. We're doing the action. Here's the details of the action. And so we're going to do the action. We're going to say, what kind of action is it? Oh, it's an item. Okay, use the item. Use item. Here's the information. So we're going to go to use item. Here's the information. Use item. Okay. If the target ID says self, which it does, we're going to do the action. But what's happening is this right here. We're trying to pass in a bonus target ID, which is there in case we have something that hits two things. For example, the cleave. If I'm cleaving through this thing and I kill it, it's going to deal some bonus damage to the next thing. The game needs to be able to see what else it's hitting, right? And what's happening here is it is freaking out and breaking because we didn't give it. Well, it's not that we didn't give it a bonus ID for a target. It's that the item we're trying to use is mad that we're not giving it a target. Or is that the case? Actually, no. It's mad that we're trying to, like, this is trying to get a target, and there isn't actually a target. So, yeah. I think, okay, I could be wrong with this. Maybe I did break this the right way. This way. And literally I just have to undo this. You just... No, then that'll break here. Okay, actually, let's see what we're gonna do this. We're gonna do... Okay, we fixed it. I think. So what was happening was... I was right the first time. It was getting mad that we were changing this from self here and then it not being self later. So now we're not actually changing it. We're just saying if it is self, do it this way, and if it's not, do it this way. And this is also a temporary fix. This should really just be a switch statement, actually. This should actually be a switch statement. Yeah. I haven't done this in a while. What does switch statements look like? Switch. Okay. So you want switch action target ID. So a switch statement is basically just like a stack of if statements. The if statement is saying if this, then do that. Like if this, do that. This is just the same thing, but you can do a bunch of them at once. So I'm going to say switch action target ID. So if the action target ID is whatever, do something. So in the case that it is this, is that the syntax? Yeah. So in the case that it is this, I want to run this code and then break. In the case that it is all, okay, in the case that it's all, it's just going to print that to remind me to go write that code, you dummy. And then if it's not any of the other base cases, it's just going to run this code. Okay, great. That should, in theory, work. We'll see if it actually works. Okay. Okay, Aaron is poisoned. You might notice that while this stuff should be theoretically be random in some capacity, it's running the exact same wage time. That's just because they, unless you tell it not to, it has the same random seed every time, so it makes debugging stuff easier and recreating stuff easier. Okay, what happened? Unable to convert string to integer target. Oh, okay, great. Okay, that's actually an expected thing. It's just this same code, but it's just down here. What line is that at, though? Okay, yeah. So same thing, just we're first doing it with the start HP, now we're doing it with the end HP. So that needs to look like this. Okay. Okay, now that should, in theory, work. Alright, Aaron, come on, do your thing. You also note that the zombies' turns go way faster, and that's because Aaron currently does not have a damage animation to wait to finish. Where like if I attack a zombie, we wait for the whole damage animation to finish before it moves on to the next turn. So once we add damage animations, that'll automatically slow down. Okay. Wait, what happened there? Actually, this whole thing... So what this does, as you can see, this is the step that is we are running animations. This is the part that's actually waiting for animations to finish, because it doesn't do anything except check this conditional statement. And until this condition, these two conditions are satisfied, this means and, so this condition and this condition both have to be true before we run this code. In that code, it says this person already acted. There's no action. The blank reset targets, reset the action, and move on to your next step. That's what it does. But it has to wait for the animation to be done. So first it has to say this exclamation point means not. Actually, really what it should do is first it says, is the target currently taking damage? The answer needs to be no. So first the target needs to not be taking damage. And we need to make sure there is no action animation going on. So here's what we want to do actually. We don't want to just check the target ID. We want to make sure nobody, like no combatant, is taking damage at all. Because if there's an AoE or something, we need to see everyone's damage going on. So really, we should extract this and save. Okay, so we're going to make a variable. I'm going to call it Damage animations are running. Okay. So it starts by equaling false. Actually. Yeah, well, I have a start by equaling false, and then we're going to go through our list of combatants. So we're going to write a for loop. Don't worry about how a for loop works. Just know that it's going to iterate through everything in our list of combatants. So for var I equals 0, Huh. Nah, that'll break. I don't need that. Don't need that ridiculousness. Okay, so array length combatants. Okay, so it's going to loop through every single one of them. Every single combatant. So we want to say if the combatant that we're looking at, if it is taking damage, then we're going to set damage animations are running to true. Okay, so now remember, all of this code runs once every single frame. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say, okay, to check if damage animations are going on, we're going to say, whoa, damage animation not running. We're going to start by assuming they're not. Then we're going to check each combatant, everyone in the fight. I'm going to say, are you taking damage? No, you're not? Great, let's next one. Number 2, are you taking damage? No? Okay, number 3, are you taking... Oh, you are taking damage? Okay, that means we're going to set damage animations to running to true, which means this will not pass, which means we're not going to run this code yet. And we'll check again next frame. And again and again and again. And that's what we want to be doing. Quick aside. How do I change preferences? Feather settings. How is this unreachable code? Oh, that's fine. Okay. Let's give that a shot. That should do something now. I hope. Can we get through a whole round of combat? Well, 2 rounds of combat, I guess. Okay, Aaron's poisoned. Roy shoots and misses. Aaron uses the cleansing herb, and it miraculously works. We did it! Let's go. As you can see, it removed the effects poison and hungry. He started off with the effect hungry. I did that earlier for testing reasons, but if you look here, blah, blah, blah. Active effects, hungry. He already has it. It just starts off that way. It won't necessarily always start off that way. It was just for the testing. I had it starting off that way. We did it. It works. The combat doesn't crash. Okay. That is good and well and good. Okay. And now, so the way I have this set up is we could just literally add more items if we wanted to. Like, look. If we just write this right here, just write in an example item. We'll call it an elixir. Right now the functionality is going to be the exact same as the potion, just because I don't want to write a new function because I don't even know what this is. I'm just making an example. We'll say it heals you for exactly 30 HP. And the action type is an item. It can target itself. It's on the combat menu. Okay, there we go. Okay. Look, and that's all it takes. And now if I go here, this is Aaron, as you can see. We go to inventory. And I forgot to add it because I have to put it down here. There we go. Now it's actually in his inventory. This is just writing the code for what it would do if it existed. And this is actually putting it in the inventory. Boom, there's an elixir. And it'll heal me. So, the systems are now in place for adding items that do stuff to be pretty straightforward. Same goes for attacks. If you see, like, we have bite and shoot here. If I go... Where do I go? Is it here? Actually, I'm not sure. Is it here? Oh. Okay, yes, here we go. Here are some attacks. So let's make another attack, just as an example. This one will be stab. Okay, sorry. I was trying to figure something out that was not really important. So let's say we add stab. We're going to call it stab. We'll call it stabby. Wabby. This is how it should show up on the menu. Pokes the target. Does physical damage. The minimum damage we'll say is... We'll say it is high variance, these stabs. So let's say a minimum of 3 damage and a maximum of 60 damage. Super high variance on this one, because why not? Hit chance, we'll say 90% chance to hit. The effect chance is 0, because there's no effect. And the frequency is actually only relevant for monsters, because it'll help run the monster AI how often they use what abilities, so it doesn't actually matter for this. And then of course it is an attack, and this is the index of the animation. As you can see, it's literally a test attack. It doesn't have to match. And we can't forget to add it to our list. We'll put it right in the middle here. We will call it stab, of course, because that's what it's called right here. And also this byte is lowercase and it's been bothering me, so we're just gonna there. Now in the menu it should be uppercase. Okay. And now you can see how easy it is to add a new attack. Look, now I have a stabby wabby. We'll stab him. 31 damage. Let's go. Alright, Aaron, of course, poisoned yet again. Roy also has this. We could add these individually, but I just added them to everybody. And now I will heal myself with this herb. Look at remove poison and hungry. So that's how is working. I'm glad to see that is all working. In fact, I was kind of worried that it was going to really be clunky, but okay. Let us consult our to-do list. I'm pretty sure we changed nothing. Okay, you're right. Okay, sound effects. Great. Okay, this is very well in line with what we're working on. So we made that sound effect, and we put it somewhere. I slightly remember where it is. So we need to figure out if there's a built-in way in Game Maker to play an audio clip. Okay, Game Maker has a complete audio engine that is used based on the OGG MP3 and .wav sound formats. Great, I have an MP3. Sounds of these types added to the IDE can be used in your game using audio function below for things more complex based on that. Okay, this is a simple sound effect, so don't have to worry about it. Audio play sound. That seems like what we're gonna want, to be honest. Function plays sound asset. So I need to make it a sound asset. Okay. Okay, so here's sounds. We're going to create sound, which means okay. How do I actually link the choose sound file. I'm stupid. Test assets, zombie blah. Okay. Boom. Right, let me turn my music down for a minute. Okay. I'm a little. Okay. This needs to be all the way. There we go. Instead of there being a delay. That's on me. Just do this the exact same way we did before. Yep, replace that. Yep, go and do that. That's good. Yes, replace that, please. Then pick this new sound file. There we go. Beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. Okay, so now we need to go to a combatant. Okay, so this is every frame it's going to check, hey, am I taking damage? And if I am, it's going to do a thing. So how could I make this not complicated? Because we only need it to go once. I don't want it to keep going. Okay, let's just put it here. Damage. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so if not started damage SFX. Play. Oh wait, it's audio. Play sound. Sound ID. Wait, it has to be a sound ID. Can't I just? Hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah, we'll do this. Okay. Alright. Let's see if this works. First try. Can we get it? First try. I don't know why it played twice. Yes, I do. I do know why it played twice. No? There's no reason that should have played twice. Why did that play twice? Also, it stopped playing again. Actually, hold on. I bet what happened is I toggled that zombie. why it played twice. Now if I attack the same zombie, nothing should happen. Okay. Even with him. Okay. But if I attack a different zombie, this is Roy now. Okay, that one only played once though. That was... Okay. Now we have the last one. Huh? I am so confused. Now, none of these should make any noise now. Okay. So, this is the only code that's playing the sound. It only should ever get to play that sound if this is false. And then as soon as we go into this code, it sets it as true. So there should be no reason that it ever plays twice on the same zombie. Gotta say, I'm honestly really happy with that sound effect, though. I'm kind of proud of myself, to be honest. Wait a minute. Hold on. Am I dumb? Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm dumb. It's that it's attacking Aaron. I'm very silly. Okay, yeah. So this needs to not be here. This needs to be damage sound effect. And we're going to set damage sound effect here. Set to something. Okay, there we go. And then we just go to this. So now it's going to play an empty sound effect whenever anyone gets hit. But if we go here and go to zombie, lovely zombie, you're lovely. Is inherited. Is this inherited? This means that it's inherited, right? so we inherited that. Okay, so we can just put this right here then. Right here. Damage sound effect equals. There we go. Sound zombie blah. Now it should work where only the zombies do that, but Aaron does not make that sound when he gets hurt. Oh, we have to give this a sound. Okay. In that case, let me just. Save this real quick. While we're here, I suppose I can just do this because we're going to need it in a second. Ah! 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 We'll go here to Aaron, to his creation event. Damage sound effect equals. There we go. Okay. Hi. Welcome. Now, theoretically, we should hear sound effects on the first time that everyone gets hit. Roy will not get hit because the zombies currently don't have an AI, so they just attack Aaron. So he should. Stuff should happen here. Okay. That works. Hi, Jonesy. How's it going? We have sound effects now. The problem is the sound effects are only happening once. So what I need to do is have a reset in place. Which is really, really simple. It needs to say if is taking damage equals false. So if we're not taking damage, then started damage SFX equals false. Okay, so now the only time that it'll reset. Actually, I'm dumb. I can just do this. Okay, so now if we're taking damage, it will run the damage animation and the sound effect, but it will only run the sound effect once because of this. And then if we're not taking damage, it'll reset the damage sound effect. So we should be able to see us taking damage multiple times. And because of the fact that Aaron does not have a damage animation, it's going to spam his sound effect. So be prepared for that. Because that only happens... Like, it needs to finish the sound effect first. So, or the animation, and he has no animation. So when we add an animation, it'll slow it down. But right now, that's not the case. So... Okay, that works. That's good. I'm very excited this is working. Now if I attack the same zombie, it should work again. Okay. This is beautiful. Very exciting. Look, it's literally that easy. Check this out. Ready for this? Boom. Done. We add that to the done column. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, baby. Now, of course, the sound effect sucks. Actually, the zombie one's low-key, like, I'm pretty proud of this. I just kind of threw that together in literally one take. Let's go. Alright, so that's good. I'm glad that that's working. The next step would be... What is the next step in combat stuff? There's already, as you can see, there's like we oh no, I heard a cat making noise. What are you doing? The gun, it keeps missing, but if it hits, there's like a little fire effect. Oh, okay, that too. So miss. Fire. So like we have some spam, dodge, blocks, misses. So as you can, I mean you just saw there, missing already happens. And you can see that in, if we go to a combatant, not a combatant, we want to go to here. Okay, so these are some example attacks. I now have the code set up, so all we have to do to make a new attack is to write it like this. Not difficult. And copy paste this template, just change the information. But this is the important line, the hit chance. So that's the chance it has to hit. Shooting has a 75% chance to hit, which is honestly kind of low. And then we've got biting and stabbing is very, very low chance to miss, but it can happen. What about modifiers? Like critical hits, that kind of stuff? I don't think I... Hold on. So here's the attack function. It's a little bit... There's a lot of attack function. The attack function is kind of long, as you can see. So it's 95. Yeah, it's 80 lines of text. Like adding percent to hit chances, like critical hits. Things that will add a start from the random roll. Well... Oh, like the damage... You'll also notice that these attacks have a minimum damage and a maximum damage, so there is already a damage range. This one was an example and is an extremely wide, unpredictable range, but like 7 to 20 is a little more reasonable, 100 to 130 is a little more reasonable. So there already is a damage range. I don't think that's what you mean, though. I wrote this function a long time ago, so I need to remember what it does. We already are comparing if it's physical damage, we're comparing it to armor, to magic, we're comparing to magic resistance. That makes sense. This is checking to see if the effect is going to apply. Oh yeah, so here's resistances and immunities. Those are here. We probably could add that. We currently have defensive things, like I can wear a magic item that gives me resistance to fire damage. And the way it's written right now, what is this? Hold on, what does this function do? Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay. Anyways, so this will give us, this checks for resistance and immunities for the type of the attack. So if it's fire damage, it'll check for it'll check if the target has fire resistance or fire immunity. Excuse me. As of now, what that does is it affects the chance that you're hit. It doesn't affect how much damage you take. That is changeable. But right now, so let's say you're resistant. The chance of being affected, of course, this is just for effects like poison or burn. But I believe we have pretty much the same thing for actually hitting. Oh, you know what? Oh, that's not true. No, that's not true, yeah. Have one set of items that primarily focuses on attribute defenses and resistances. Another set that just buffs numbers like the actual armor stat, i.e. mage robes help with elemental resistances, but iron armor makes you take less damage, but you're vulnerable to lightning. We could do that. That probably comes down to like a design thing, less of a programming that right now thing. That's a good idea though. I would put that in the Discord if I were you, somewhere, probably in the combat mechanics channel. Yeah, okay. So as it sits, we do not have resistances and immunities to damage, but just to effects. We already have like the like wearing a like wearing an iron chest plate that buffs your armor stat, that already exists. So like if you look here, this bit of code here is simply collecting the do not need this. Sorry, this bit of code right here is determining whether or not the appropriate defensive stat is armor or magic resistance. That's supposed to say total magic resistance, I'm pretty sure. Sorry, hold on. Pause. Huh. Okay, yeah, sorry. I was just looking at that and I realized that it had the wrong thing open. This is trying to find magic resist as that I've written like that, which doesn't exist. Supposed to be written like that. So that would have come up later if I didn't find it now, which is good. Okay, so kind of like OG Pokemon using defense to take physical moves, but special for anything non-physical like Psychic or Hydro. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and Pokemon, of course, is not the first one to have physical versus magic being the main distinction of damage. But that's exactly how it is here. Yes. But I just kind of breezed over it. I'm going to go back so you can see now. Here. So we have some stats, right? We have our base HP, our base speed, our base armor, and our base magic resist. And some other stuff you don't care about right now. And then later, we are... these functions are all up in my grill, and I don't want them. So look, these functions, you can get the item bonus of a stat and the effect bonus of a stat. So our item bonus HP says, okay, I'm going to look at all of the items that are equipped to this character, and I'm going to get every single bit of bonus HP from all the items and return that value. So then this variable contains the data of all of the bonus HP, that one number, the sum of all the bonus HP I'm getting from my items. Do the same thing for speed, armor, and magic resist. So this line right here, that, if you can even see that, this line right here points out, okay, we have X amount of bonus armor because of what we're wearing. That's it. And then it does the same thing for effects. And these are like either status effects or like boons, like magic effects you have on you. And then it just calculates the total of each one. Very basic. Obviously, total HP is your base HP plus your item HP plus your effect HP. Not complicated. So those are the numbers we actually care about doing math with. The reason we delineate it like that and have these set aside is so, for example, yeah, you follow, good. So the reason we have it like this is so, for example, if I, oh gosh, my back hurts. If I wanted to be able to later have a spell that like dispels any status effects on you that are buffing you, I don't have to like retroactively figure out how much, like go look at each effect and see how much it was affecting you or anything. I don't have to do that. I can just say, oh, what was your effect bonus speed? Delete that, like remove that from the total. Great, easy. So that's why it's set up like this. It's not doing anything yet, but it's setting us up to have more information and more options later. You're getting old. Let's see here. Okay. So what time is it? It's 10:25 already? Okay, jeez. We've been streaming longer than I realized. I don't know that I necessarily want to do this yet. I don't know that I necessarily want to do either of these yet, to be honest. Oh yeah, my back. Yeah, I don't know. I maybe I slept weird. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's like my lower back. Maybe I need to go like lay on a heating pad or something. I don't know. Okay. So yeah. Anyways, these test sprites are beautiful. I just found this zombie online somewhere. Kind of copped it. It's fine. Yeah, that's pretty much. I don't know if you saw this earlier, but we have it set up so it's pretty straightforward to be able to add new items and attacks. So like, if I just wanted to, I could literally copy this, make a few changes to the numbers. We'll change this to say slash. We'll name it the same thing. We'll say sword slash. Slice the target. Physical damage. We'll say it does a minimum of 25 and a maximum of 35 damage. So it's pretty tight range. It has a pretty good chance to hit. We'll leave it at 90. The frequency is just for monsters. So that number is going to be used for the monster AI to know how frequently it wants to use certain attacks, but it does not matter for player characters, because you get to control it. And then we could put whatever animation sprite we wanted to use. Let's see, where is our... Oh, it's in test assets. Where did I put the test assets, actually? Here we go. these suck. They're not meant to be good. They're not meant to be anything really. But we just want to. Where were we? Here, I think. Yeah. So we're just gonna use the same sprite that we used for the gun for this. So it's gonna be a flame. And I know that doesn't make sense with this whole sword slash thing, but this is just an example to see how it works. And then I need to not do this yet because I forgot. So this is how it works, but I have to actually add this to my list of attacks. Well, in fact, we will add it right here at the end. So our character can bite, stab, shoot, and slash. Both of them, actually. Hi, I am working on a JRPG set in the world I've been running D&D games in for the past half decade. So, if we have now, this is now in the inventory, and then, yeah, exactly. And it's not even a function; it's actually just a struct, which is just a list of variables. One of those actually not even for that. For items, sometimes the one variable is a function, but in this case, it's just a bunch of specific variables. Because really, that's all the attacks are. Is they have some damage they do, the chance they're going to hit, maybe an additional like status effect they might apply, like if it was a poison sword and it was going to apply poison. It's not hard to implement that. And then what sprite you're going to connect to it. So when I target the zombie, when I hit enter, it's going to show a little flame because that's the sprite, the animation I added to it. That obviously would not be what we really used. We would draw something that looked like a swinging sword or a slice of some kind. But you understand how it works. So, and then if it hits, it's going to show me the damage it does. Otherwise, it'll say miss. I forgot that we added audio. I forgot we had the sound effects. So let me just turn that down a little bit. But yeah, so it is seriously that easy to add new attacks that do different amounts. And we could, though we don't yet, it would not be difficult to add in some kind of stat that shows how good the player is or how good the character is. I can't. Okay. And what I mean by that is if we go here, scroll the way up here, we have these things here. So the reason that they are seemingly attached to something else is because we have two types of players or characters. We have the combat object. So if you see here, we're looking at object combat party members. So this is the basic party member. It's currently representing Roy, but it's the basic thing that all of them are going to have together. Character ranking system. Character ranking system. I do not know what you're talking about. Character ranking system. I don't know what I said. Anyways, we have an overworld version and a combat version of each character. So it's just pulling. These are just pulling the skill stat from the overworld version. Like a B rank healer or an S rank hero. Oh, I mean, yeah. I just mean, as you level up your characters, they're gonna get stronger. So like, I don't want my basic sword attack to be the same at level 1 as it is at level 30, right? So as they level up, those stats are gonna go up, and as those stats go up, we could want them to affect stuff. So let's say, for example, let me get an overworld copy of Aaron. Here's overworld Roy. These are random stats that overworld Roy has. Doesn't really matter. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Oops, here we go. Okay, so here's overworld Roy. He has some stats. So he doesn't really do much right now. Look, I don't know why. For whatever reason, Roy has a bunch of negative magic resist. I don't know why. I think that was for some example. But so if we have Roy is very skilled with. Actually, he would be canonically more skilled with melee stuff. Okay, so he doesn't do that much with magic. He has like super high skill with edged weapons, though. For example. And then we it's whatever, it's 50, whatever it is. And then we don't have to do anything else. We just change that right there. That's it. And then we do all the actual math over here when we're talking about these attacks. So maybe, because remember, we pull that data from that object, right? So edge weapons, whatever. So then maybe if I'm using this slash with a sword, I say, well, the minimum damage is going to be 25 plus I guess we could say the skill edged times 30 divided by please. How would I do this? I would do it like this, right? So this is going to be, we're doing 25 damage plus 30% of my edged weapon skill. And then the maximum damage, of course, we would probably do the same thing. I guess it depends how we wanted to implement that. Do we want your skill to bring up the minimum, or do we want it to lift up the entire range? Like instead of changing our minimum, what if it only affects the maximum, right? Well, that didn't work at all. Okay, I don't know why that's not working. It's just getting annoying now. There, it can do that, and then the minimum is still there, but because the maximum is higher, we have a higher chance of getting higher numbers, and we have a higher damage output on average, right? But that's a discussion for the development team. That's probably not something we implement as a playable decision, because that's a very clunky, mathy decision that I don't know if that'd be a good thing to actually implement as a game mechanic. Maybe that's a discussion for the development team, though. I don't want to make that decision yet. And it could be more complex than this. It could, or simpler. It could be just you just always add that damage to literally any attack that matches. That could be the case. It could be that it changes your chance to hit instead of the actual damage. So instead of missing, you're hitting stuff. I know it looks like it's a pretty good chance to hit already, but you have to remember that the zombies that we're going up against right now, they have an armor stat of between 3 and 4, which is, if you look at, okay, so here's armor, right? The zombie's armor is, we'll say it's 4. That armor, so our percent chance to hit is our normal hit chance minus their defense stat. So if we're hitting 95% of the time, and then they have a 4 armor, we're hitting 91% of the time. Okay. What about later in the game when we're against like rock elementals who have a armor of 50? If we have a 95% chance to hit, and they have 50 armor, we have a 45 chance to hit. Well, all of a sudden, having your skill be changing your hit chance instead of the damage is really relevant. So, again, that's a design decision we have to make. It's easy enough to implement in the code either way. It needs to be a design decision. I think it should be two different things, because changing the minimum just makes things more consistent, but changing the maximum makes things more powerful. Oh, so actually will never be 100%. Yeah, well, as it sits, accuracy is never going to be 100%. If the opponent has both defensive types, right? If I go up against a basic bandit, and they have leather armor on, so they have 15 armor, for example. That's all well and good. What about when I throw a fireball at them? You know? Like, do humans and every living thing have some base amount of magic resistance? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. That's another design decision. If they have 0, maybe they literally have 0, then I'm going to be mostly hitting with everything magic related on them. So, you know, it could be that it's never 100%. Maybe it's never 100% unless you have a buff item, like an item buffing you, making your percent chance, I don't know, like before checking armor, maybe this attack, because of an item I have, has like 120 accuracy. You only need 100, but now that's 20 over, so I can ignore 20 points of their armor before it even affects me at all. Is there a way to randomize the enemy stats within a range so that you need to fight 5 bandits? You're not just fighting 5 copies. Yes, it actually already does that. Well, so I only have one enemy created right now because we're all for testing reasons. But look right here. This zombie's base HP is between 45 and 75. It's already there. His total armor is between 3 and 4. Here, actually, look, watch this. Okay, let's do a quick test. We'll see what this looks like. And doesn't matter resist this one, as you can see. Okay, so let's bite this zombie. 13 damage. I really need to turn that down. Let's just... Can I... Guess what was stupid here. Okay. I realized I turned the music off so long ago. My bad. Okay, so yeah, that was like 13 damage. There's another 11 damage. And if we stab, 51 damage. Okay. Let's change this thing's armor from 3 to 4 to 30 to 40. Now I should have a much higher chance of just straight up missing with these attacks. Look, see? This whole time testing, you haven't seen a bite miss yet because they have a 95% chance to hit, and we're running on the same seed. This program, it runs the same seed whenever you're testing, unless you tell it not to, so it's going to resolve the same randomness, or the randomness the same way, unless I tell it not to. It's good for debugging. So look, this last time it hit for, I think it was 11 damage, now it's also probably going to miss. Yeah, see? Currently, the only difference is you do 0 damage. But again, another design decision is we could change that. So instead of dealing 0 damage and armor only affecting whether you hit or miss, we could try and have armor affect how much damage you're doing. In fact, I think that's probably ideal. Right now, that armor and magic resist just decide if you hit or not. But what I think would be more interesting, personally, is having like an agility stat, which is, that's very, very classic is armor and magic resistance, whatever you call it. I'm using magic resistance because I'm a League of Legends player. But those right now, as I have the code written, affect if you get hit. But I think it would be better for them to be affecting how hard you get hit, and then leave the agility stat, evasion, whatever you want to call it, for the for dodging. So that's actually probably something to add here. How do you? Okay. So, all right, get over it. All right, listen. It works the same, and it is not another $100. Get off my back. I was actually watching a video the other day. Someone made a Kahoot bot that like connected to ChatGPT and like read the screen to like answer the Kahoot questions, but it was reading that his Windows wasn't activated. I thought that was funny. Anyhow, goodness, I had a thing I was about to say and I already lost it. Oh yeah. Another thing with armor / magic resist versus agility is like, this is a role playing game. Well, it's not like an immersive, like first person kind of role playing game. It is a role playing game nonetheless, and role playing games by nature have an amount of customization, and the people that want to customize into armor and have a lot of armor, they don't want to see the attack missed, right? They don't want to build armor and then watch the word miss pop up on screen. They want to build armor and then watch them get hit and the number pop up and say 0, right? They want a big goose egg for the damage number. And if we rework it so armor and magic resist reduce the damage from effects, the way the code's already written, it'll show up low numbers instead of showing miss. But if you're building into like agility and dodging, you want it to pop up and say miss. So I think when we do this rework, that'll make it like fit more what you expect to happen as you build your characters a certain way. Yeah, exactly. Okay, it's almost 11. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, eat a quick power snack, run to the bathroom, and then be back and work on reworking this. Hold on. This is supposed to say rework. And then come back and work on this. I'll be back in just a few short minutes, and we'll be good. Okay. We are back. Wish there were more GMS2 streamers. Well, I'm one, but I'm not. I'm. This is my first big project. So, if you're looking to learn something, hopefully I could be of some service, but we'll see what's what. Okay, so we're going to work on reworking the armor MR agility thing. We do have to decide what to name the variable. Is it going to be agility? Is it going to be general evasion? We probably name it evasion. And then we can have it be called something else when it's displayed to players. But like as a base stat, like if they want to add points into agility when they level up or something. But we want to be able to have other things affect it, I imagine. Like maybe you have a magic cloak that like it kind of like makes you blurry. Like literally the Dungeons and Dragons spell blur. Your body becomes blurred, shifting away from all who can see you for the duration. Any creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against you. So if you know how D&D works, this is like exactly an effect we could use. It's basically magic armor, but not literally armor. It makes it harder to hit you, not harder to get damage through when they do hit you. So I guess we'll put it down as evasion for now in the code. That means combatants need to have this stat. Do combat. Is it actually? Do I put this here then? I guess I technically should go on enemies as. Yeah. Speed also could potentially go into it. Blur, yeah. Pokemon had a minimize and the icon actually shrunk to a pixel. Yeah. The I remember that one. So I kind of want to make sure we're thinking of the same thing. Okay. Look, it's so tiny. Alright, I don't really care how this glitch works. I just wanted to see how that looked. Okay, so yeah, we're going to add evasion. Is that how you spell evasion? I want to say that's it. That looks right? I'm gonna keep double check. Okay, I'm a spelling legend. Yeah, the good old days. Okay, so evasion 0. You would level up that stat as time went on, I imagine. Wait, oh, so I thought we were already here. Okay, so really evasion would be another stat that goes here, wouldn't it? It would go with this, I suppose. So This probably doesn't work yet. Okay. Sorry, that took a second. So, now these should work with that new stat. Wasn't too hard to add it into the new stat. Okay, so we do need to add a total though. So total evasion will equal base evasion plus item bonus evasion plus effect bonus evasion. Okay. Easy enough. Now we have evasion. As well as also having our good friend armor and magic resist. So if we go back to the attack function, this is the all the different things that are attacking are using the same function. So this is determining the defense stat, which is still, I think, good. Thank you, Jonesy, for moderating that. I just couldn't really get my hands on it properly. I don't know why. Anyhow, we've got our defense stat is used exactly once, which is right here. This is to determine the hit percents. But what we really want is for this to be the evasion of the target. So we really want this to be target.total evasion. And as this sits, that evasion is going to be a flat amount percent. So like if The attack normally has an 80% chance to hit, which would be an accuracy of 80. We're going to just subtract the evasion score from that. Meaning if you get a high enough evasion, certain attacks have a literal 0% chance to hit you. No, that's not true. Wait a minute, that's not true. Okay, yeah, so here's what happened. Okay, yeah, I gotcha. So, yeah, okay. So, I did have it set so you technically... Well, okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. This bit right here, this bit of the code, I don't like when I zoom in on this, it's still kind of blocky text, which is a little annoying, but whatever, it's fine. So this is getting, this is setting up a blank template for the results of this attack because we're going to start filling in this information and then we're going to ship it out for the combat manager to deal with. So you see, like, we're applying all this stuff to it and then we're going to send it out. But that doesn't matter. Okay, so what we have here, let's set this up so it's a little easier to read. Oh. Okay. This right here is all one chunk of code. It's going to say, as it's written anyways, we're going to roll a die to get a number between 1 and 100. That's consider it rolling the chance, right? If that number is less than or equal to the hit percent, it will hit. And that's all this stuff. If it's not, else we're sending the main damage. There's secondary damage to a secondary source, theoretically, potentially, but right now just assume this is the only damage. It's going to set that as -1. And that -1 is not literally -1 damage. You're not literally healing them. But that is the numerical equivalent of missing in the way we have it set up. So that's why that is. So let's say I have a hit percent of 50 and you are extremely evasive. You have a 50 evasion. So you're going to reduce my chance to hit all the way to 0. Do you notice anything? Right here. This random range can roll a 0. It's not likely, but it can. So you want this to roll, kind of like D&D, you want to roll low when it comes to percentile. You want to roll below the percent chance. So, and this is not made public, of course. So if my hit percent is 25, I want to roll 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 25. Those are my numbers that hit, right? So, even if I have a zero hit percent, if I roll exactly 0, 0 would be less than or equal to 0, and it would hit. So, as I have it written, even hit percents of 0 can still hit, though very rarely. And I think that's a good thing. I think that even if we have someone with maxed out evasion, they should still technically be able to be hit. Is it a 1% chance? Yes. I think it should probably still be allowed. So, actually, it's even less than a. We should round this. Actually, let's round this. Otherwise, it's like actually never gonna happen. Yeah, because this actually would return something between 1 and 100 or 0 and 100, but it wouldn't necessarily be a flat number. It could be like 17.842. And then we're literally never going to hit on an evasion like that, so I am just changing it so it rounds the number. Anyways, so if we have the hit percent be modified by the target's evasion, so of course that's exactly what we want. All we need to do is have that cap out at 0, so it can't go below 0. And then, however low, yes, there is still a small chance that we actually hit them. So let's say minimum possible evasion, or hit percent equals 0. This is supposed to say a variable. If hit percent, I cannot type. If hit percent is less than the minimum possible. Golly, I hit caps lock. So, if this is our minimum allowed, if the hit percent is lower than the minimum allowed, well, we need to set it to it. We're gonna set the hit percent to the minimum. So we're basically putting on bumpers. We're saying if this is less than that, it actually needs to be equal to it. It cannot go less than that. So if we decide that we want to come back and change this and say, okay, no matter how much evasion we get, we do not want anything to have less than a 5% chance to hit. All we have to do is change this value. Boom. Nope. Boom. And it'll work. For now, we're gonna let it be 0 though. And maybe we'll call it 2%. Right now, we don't want anything less than 2% chance to hit. Even then, like, you're almost never hitting if that's the case, obviously. But whatever. Okay, so that's where we're at. Now we need to find a new use for the actual defense stat. Right now we're determining the defense stat. We're determining the defense stat, and we are doing literally nothing with it. So we need to change that. So I think we want to go to the actual damage. So this is where we're determining the damage. Yeah, so okay, so this is determining the damage right here. So right here, so this is where we're going to apply the MR magic resist. I don't know what you want or what we're thinking for this. My gut tells me we have it set as a percentage. Well, no. Then if you get like 100% armor, if you get 100 armor, you're canceling 100% of damage. Ooh, you know what we could do actually? Oh, okay, yeah, what we could do. It could be that we take your armor, and your armor gets to negate. So let's say you have 50 armor. We could say that your armor now has a range between 1 and 50, and your hit is going to negate a certain percentage of that armor, of the damage. So like, say we have 1 in 50, 50 being, I imagine, a high amount of armor. And then when we get hit, we're negating between 1 and 50% of the total damage trying to be dealt to us. That being said, I do feel like armor is something you don't want to be... Like, you don't want your armor to be, I don't know. I feel like I don't want the armor to be super coin flippy. I feel like I want it to be a little more consistent than the attacks. Like, I feel like weapon damage makes sense to be kind of, variable. But I feel like armor probably wants to be more consistent. But I also don't want it to just say, this armor is going to negate 50% of all of your damage. You know? But now that could be fine if we're setting up the game in such a way that you're not getting... Like, if you manage to stack 60 armor, that's, like, huge. It's like, we could do that. Then you're tanking, That could be good. I don't know. That sounds like a thing we could do. For now, we'll write it out that way, understanding the fact that may not be permanent. Excuse me. Okay, so we want armor and magic resist to be a number between 1 and 100. Probably maxing out at around 60 realistically, but then it's going to be a percentage. So that means we need to take damage needs to equal damage times the defensive stats over 100. And then damage, of course, is going to round to a flat number. Okay, so as this sits, the zombie, 3 to 4 armor, has 0 evasion, so we should not miss. Oh, we broke it. Okay, do you not have evasion? Oh, wait. I messed some wording up somewhere. Oh, I'm dumb. I just didn't give evasion to Overworld Roy and Overworld Aaron. I'm so silly. Evasion equals 10, I guess. And then evasion is 7. Okay. Sure. Whatever. Okay. So these zombies have like 3.5 attack or 3.5 armor. So let's not shoot actually. Let's okay. I forgot about the sound effects. Oh. Oh, I'm dumb. I have the zombies with evasion, where all their other stats are total stat. The evasion also needs to be total, so total evasion. My bad. Let's try this again. Okay. Oh, what is up with this now? Defensive stat. Alright, now I'm starting to get annoyed. What did I... Okay. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. Okay. I named some variables wrong. It's okay. This should work this time. It should, in theory, work this time. Well, that can't be right. Huh. Everything just took 0 damage from everything, and because they took no damage, they didn't make a sound. If I shoot you. Okay, so the gun that normally did over 100 damage just did like a tiny amount of damage. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm very silly. It needs to be damage times 100 over the defense stat, not the other way around. Wait, is that correct? No, that's not correct. Oh, wait, I had it right the first time. So, let me think through this again. What am I doing wrong here? I want the defense stat to remove... Okay, so like if I have Aaron here, his... Well... Aaron's armor is 12. Let's call it 10 for a little bit of cleaner math. This zombie is dealing 4 damage to me. Okay. Well, let's see. It's currently biting me. So doing between 3 and 4 damage. I want that to, what I want to happen is I want it to remove 10% of that. Okay, so that won't even work because it'll round it up. It'll either be 3 to remove 0.3 damage and round up back to 3, or the same with 4. So let's have it do 10 damage and 10 damage. So it's guaranteed dealing 10 damage on its attack. And then it should be reduced by 10%. Oh my gosh. I'm so dumb. Look, I'm saying damage equals the percent that's being removed. It needs to be damage minus that percentage being removed. I think. Let us give it another run. So what should happen is we should do, I don't know, whatever damage we do to the zombie, but the zombie should be doing 9 damage to us. And it's just that easy. Get this Okay, so we just did 17 on our second attack with Aaron. Now, if we adjust the zombie's armor to be like way more, so zombie's armor is between 3 and 4. Let's triple that to 9 and 12. Well, actually, can we just... Let's do this. Okay. So let's have the armor be 50 for a moment. So then we should be doing in the range of 10 damage. Ish to the zombie on its second attack. Would make a little less. There's 10 on the first attack. 4. Is that right? So we're dealing between like 5 and 10 damage ish on average. So if the zombie has an armor of 50, he's negating half of it, which is huge. Meaning our attack should be on average doing what, 10 to 20 then ish. And then if we look at our actual attack, 7 to 20. Okay, yeah. So that's okay. So it's working. Okay. But now let's say we use we change the slash, and it's all the same thing except it's magic damage, and we're gonna say it does exactly 20 damage. Okay. Zombie MR is currently 1, so let's have it at 0 first. Oh, back up. Hold on. I just realized something. If the MR is 0, it's going to multiply this by 0. Oh, never mind. That's fine. Because it ends up being... Sorry. Never mind. That's fine. Math tracks. Math works out. My bad. Okay. So then this should be doing exactly 20 damage to the zombie. Okay. Okay, that's great. Now, if I change the zombie's magic resistance to 50, it should be dealing exactly 10 damage to the zombie. Come on, guys. Programming's easy. Alright, then if say this is 25, we should be getting a clean 15 damage. Okay. I do think we should add like a little bit of randomness. Like, you know, you want there to be a little bit of percentages here, right? So if we were to do that, what I would imagine we do is here, we tell the defensive stat, like before we do this, like we set the defensive stat. Oh, let's do this. So defense stat equals defense stat times random range. So, what happens here is it will return us. Like it'll change our defense to somewhere between 15% below and 15% above the actual number. So it has a little bit of flexibility. That's probably too high, though, to be honest. Maybe we'll just call it 9. Yeah, here, let's do this. Let's call it... Yeah, so if we have 50 armor, which is a lot of armor, it'll act like on this hit that it's anything between 45 and 55 armor. That honestly also feels like a lot. Well, that's if you have 50 armor. If you only have 20 armor, it's going to be between 18 and 22. So it's actually pretty reasonable. Let's give that a shot and see what it does. Okay, so this... Alright, what does the zombie currently have? Okay, it is 50... Oh, that's armor. Oh, well, armor's fine. 50 armor means if our... I forgot what our attack is supposed to do. Our attack is supposed to do... Okay, let's just set this to 20 really quick, just so we can... Okay. Shut that up again. Okay, so our attack is going to do 20. The zombie has 50 magic or 50 armor, so that means this should do. So that does 50 times 50% of 20 is 10 damage. But it could be 45, which would be 9 damage, or it could be 55, which would be 11 damage, or other way around. So it'll be either 9, 10, or 11 damage. Okay, that one's 9, 10, 9, 11. Okay, great. So that's working. Now, of course, it seems silly at these number amounts, but by the time you have 50 armor, you're going to be fighting things that are doing hundreds of damage. So, like, the numbers are going to be more intricate looking. And then if we do the sword slash, which is our magic, this is the magic effect. They have 25% magic resistance, and it's going to deal 20 damage. So it means they will take 15 damage, but it could be plus or minus 2.5, which means they could be taking 17 and a half almost. No, that's not right. They'll be taking, like, it'll round between 16 and 18, I think, but it should be 17 most of the time because the amount is smaller and the range is shorter. So it should be right about 17. Sorry, 15. Close to 15. Could be 16, could be 14, should be 15. Because that is 75% of 20. Ash can do basic math. There's 15. It should mostly just say 15 on, like, all of these. Like, I think there's a low chance of it actually switching to something else. Okay, well, a miss, I suppose, is a miss. 15. 15. Okay, yeah. So that one, the percentage is just going to be too small for it to actually change. And that's okay. Now, Sorry. So, with the numbers being low at the beginning of the game, you're not going to see those numbers come through that much. But when you do, the thing is, when you do see them, they're going to be rounding to a whole number. So it will actually be cutting off a sizable number. Like, 1 damage does not matter at the end of the game. Beginning of the game, every 1 damage does matter. So, while it won't be as obvious, like, on average, the numbers that are coming off, when they do, you will notice them, because it's, instead of dealing 7 damage, it dealt only 5 damage, and that's, like, a huge deal at this level. Okay, so we need to go fix these numbers I set for this. So this can go between 12 and 18 damage. These are arbitrary numbers, but I just want to, like... Okay, well, we have thank you. We have officially reworked the armor, MR, and agility. So great! Look at all the stuff we got done. We have a lot more work to do, of course. This to-do column and progress columns are going to be filling up, I'm sure. But yeah. That's going to be me for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And I'm going to be working on this a lot during the summer. So I hope to see you guys come back and visit. And have a lovely time, everybody.